Cancer, have you been feeling a strange presence lately? That feeling that you're being watched even when you're alone. Don't ignore it. It's not paranoia. It's not your imagination. It's not a coincidence. You are being watched, and I'm going to tell you exactly by whom and why. But first, I need you to understand one thing. This observation is not random. You have been specifically selected, marked, identified as someone who is about to experience something that will completely change their life. There is a higher intelligence monitoring people like you right now. People who have reached a specific point in their evolution where they are ready for the next level. And you, Cancer, are at the top of that list. Not because you asked to be there, not because you applied, but because you have developed certain qualities, gone through certain experiences, reached a certain emotional and spiritual maturity that qualifies you for what is coming. The observation you're feeling is real. It's intense. And it's happening because you're being prepared for a specific mission. Not a mission you consciously chose, but a mission your soul signed up for before you were even born. The problem is, most people who experience this initial observation never find out what that mission island. They feel its presence, they get uncomfortable, they try to ignore it, and they end up missing out on the opportunity of a lifetime. You won't be one of them. You'll find out exactly why you're being observed and what you need to do with that information. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal not only who's watching you, but also what they're looking for in you. I'm going to explain why you've been feeling different these past few weeks, why certain situations in your life have been heightened, why you've been having more vivid dreams and stronger intuitions. It's all connected to the observation that's happening. And when you understand the full picture, you'll realize that your life will never be the same again. Are you ready to discover that maybe you're not as ordinary as you always thought? The first thing I need you to understand is that this observation didn't start yesterday. It's been going on for weeks, maybe months. You've probably started noticing subtle signs, that feeling of intensely picking up on other people's emotions, vividly real dreams that leave you unsettled or deeply moved, or perhaps a heightened sensitivity to your environment, feeling a presence nearby even when you can't logically explain it. You may have tried to rationalize these feelings. You may have thought you were stressed, tired, or imagining things, but deep down, you knew there was something real going on. Your Cancerian intuition, which rarely lets you down, was trying to warn you that something important was unfolding around you. And now, it's time for you to find out the full truth. The people watching you are not physical people. They are not people you can see or confront directly. They are a higher collective consciousness, an intelligence that operates in dimensions beyond our normal perception. This intelligence is constantly scanning the human population, looking for individuals who have reached certain milestones of personal and spiritual growth. And you, Cancer, have reached those milestones. But here's the part that might surprise you. You're not being watched because you're special in some ordinary sense. You're being watched because you've developed a very specific combination of profound emotional depth and a unique empathic capacity that is extremely rare. Most people either possess great empathy but lack the resilience to navigate its intensity, or they have resilience but have closed themselves off to true emotional connection. You, Cancer, possess both a tender heart and the strength to protect it, making you incredibly valuable for what's to come. The observation you are feeling is actually an evaluation. You are being tested, analyzed, studied to determine whether you are ready to take on a very specific role in the great transformation that is happening on the planet right now. I am not speaking metaphorically or symbolically. I am speaking of a real, tangible transformation that will affect every aspect of human life in the years to come. For Cancers, this observation focuses on your extraordinary ability to sense and navigate the emotional currents of the collective. You are being evaluated to become an emotional healer and guide for others during intense changes. The focus is on your innate capacity to nurture and create safe, loving spaces for others. You are being prepared to translate compassion into practical solutions for emotional turmoil. And the observation relates to your powerful emotional resilience and intuitive vision to build a future based on empathy and compassion. You will be responsible for ensuring that the coming changes are lasting and beneficial for the human soul. What you all have in common is that you are being watched because you possess the perfect combination of deep compassion and intuitive wisdom that will be essential in the years ahead. You are not just observers of the changes that are happening. You will be active participants, leaders, creators of the new reality that is emerging. That is why the watching is so intense. That is why you cannot ignore it. Your soul already knows what its role, Island. Even if your conscious mind has not yet fully understood it, can you sense that there is something greater waiting for you? Something that will demand the best of you, Cancer. The reason you're being watched is because you represent something that's becoming increasingly rare in the world. Genuine emotional authenticity and a profound capacity for empathy. In a world where people are constantly disconnecting from their own and others' emotions, you maintain an open, sensitive heart. In an age where everyone seeks quick fixes, you understand the value of deep emotional connection and sustained support. In a society obsessed with superficial appearances, you value the depth of the soul and the truth of feeling. These qualities have made you visible to higher intelligences who are looking for people who can serve as pillars of emotional support and intuitive guidance during times of intense transformation. You have not been chosen to be a follower or a passive spectator. You have been identified as someone who has the potential to become a natural leader, a point of reference for others who will be lost and confused during the changes that are coming. The observation you are feeling is also an invitation to discover and develop capacities that have always been latent within you, but that have never been fully activated. Deep listening skills you didn't know. You possessed a healing presence that has been repressed by fear of vulnerability or powers of manifestation for those you care deeply about, underutilized because you didn't fully believe in your own potential. Over the next few weeks, as this observation continues, you will begin to notice subtle but significant changes in your life. Opportunities that seemed impossible will begin to present themselves. Important people will appear in your path without apparent explanation. Insights and ideas will come to your mind with a clarity you have never experienced before. All of this is connected to the observation that is taking place. It is as if invisible forces are rearranging your reality to prepare you for what is coming. But here's the crucial part. You have a choice to make. You can continue to ignore the observation, pretending you don't feel its presence, trying to return to the ordinary life you once knew. Or you can acknowledge what's happening, embrace the process, and consciously prepare to step into the role that's being offered to you. The first option is easier in the short term, but it will result in a growing sense of unease and missed opportunities. The second option may be challenging, but it will lead you to a life of purpose and fulfillment that you never imagined was possible. Which will you choose? What strikes me most about the observation you're feeling is its precision. It's not a general or superficial observation. It's a deep, detailed analysis of who you really are, what you're capable of, and how you can contribute to the greater good. This higher intelligence knows you better than you know yourself. It knows your deepest fears, your undeveloped empathic talents, your secret dreams of creating a safe and nurturing world. And it's using that knowledge to create situations that will force you to grow, to expand, to become the person you've always had the potential to be. During this period of observation, you may experience moments of discomfort or anxiety. This is completely normal. When something bigger than ourselves is paying attention to our lives, our human mind naturally feels exposed and vulnerable. But this discomfort is temporary. Once you understand the purpose behind observation and begin to consciously collaborate with the process, the discomfort turns into excitement and positive anticipation. Observation is also happening because you have reached a point in your personal journey where you can no longer grow using the same methods that have worked until now. To reach the next level of development, you need greater challenges, more significant responsibilities, opportunities that demand more than you have demonstrated yourself capable of. And these cannot be arranged by yourself. They must come from an external source, from an intelligence that can see possibilities that are beyond your current perspective. That's why you're being watched so closely, because you're being evaluated for opportunities that will demand the best of you. Not just ordinary opportunities that anyone could take advantage of, but specific opportunities that only someone with your unique combination of qualities would be able to make a reality. And once you prove that you're ready for these opportunities, they'll start showing up in your life in ways that will seem almost magical. Cancer. There's something you need to understand about the kind of person who awakens this level of observation. You have a rare ability to transform deep empathy into concrete healing action. While others talk about compassion, you feel it and then act. While others complain about suffering, you create space for healing. While others give up when things get emotionally difficult, you persevere to provide support and comfort. The observation you are feeling is also a recognition of your unique value. It is a way for higher intelligence to tell you, we see you. We recognize your potential. We know you are capable of much more than you are currently demonstrating, and we are willing to give you the opportunities necessary to prove it. But this recognition comes with responsibility. You can no longer hide behind mediocrity or your comfort zone. When you are seen by higher powers, you are called to a higher standard of existence. Over the next few days, pay special attention to the signs that will begin to appear in your life. Numbers that repeat themselves with unusual frequency. Animals that appear in your path in unusual ways. People who approach you with unexpected conversations or offers books, movies, or songs that reach you at the exact moment they contain a message that you need to hear. Or perhaps intense, intuitive flashes that appear without a clear logical trigger. These are not coincidences. They are direct communications related to the observation that is taking place. The intelligence that is watching you uses these subtle methods to communicate because it respects your free will. It will not force you to do anything. It will not make decisions for you. It will not interfere directly in your life. But it will create situations and opportunities that allow you to make choices that can change everything. And the more attentive you are to these signs, the easier it will be to recognize opportunities when they arise. What is happening to you right now is part of a very rigorous selection process. Not everyone who shows potential makes it through this intense scrutiny. You have come this far because you have proven through your actions and choices over the years that you have the integrity, emotional resilience, and intuitive wisdom to handle greater responsibilities. This is not an accident. It is a direct result of who you have chosen to be and how you have chosen to live. This observation is also happening because you are entering a phase in your life where you will need to make decisions that will affect not only you, but many other people. Decisions related to projects you will lead, people you will influence, and the emotional spaces you will steward. That is why it is so important that you are carefully evaluated before being given access to these opportunities. The higher intelligence needs to be sure that you will use your power responsibly and beneficially. In the coming days, you will notice that your intuition is sharper than ever. You will know instantly if a person is being emotionally honest with you. You will sense immediately whether a situation is truly nurturing or draining for you. You will have sudden insights into complex emotional dynamics that other people cannot untangle. This is happening because observation is activating latent capacities in your consciousness. It is as if internal antennas that were turned off are being turned on one by one. This expansion of your perception is not a side effect of observation. It is one of its primary purposes. You are being prepared to see and understand things that ordinary people cannot, to make decisions based on information that is not available through normal channels, to navigate complex situations using wisdom that comes from sources higher than ordinary logic. Cancer, what excites me most about what is happening to you is that you are being prepared for a completely new way of living, a way where you are not dependent solely on your own limited abilities, but have access to resources and guidance that come from higher levels of consciousness, where you don't have to figure everything out on your own, because you are connected to an intelligence that already knows the answers, where you don't have to fight against your circumstances, because you are aligned with forces that are organizing those circumstances in your favor, especially in the realm of emotional well-being and relationships. But to gain full access to this new way of life, you need to demonstrate that you are willing to take on the responsibilities that come with these privileges. You need to show that you will use your expanded influence to help others and contribute to the common good. You need to prove that you will not become corrupt when you have access to greater resources. And you need to maintain your integrity even when faced with temptations or pressures to act contrary to your values. The observation you are experiencing is also a period of preparation. You are being strengthened internally to deal with greater challenges. You are developing emotional resilience so that you will not be overwhelmed when faced with the suffering or conflicts of others. You are cultivating wisdom to make complex decisions that will affect many people, especially in protecting the vulnerable. You are learning to trust your intuition even when it leads you in directions that seem contrary to common logic. During this time, it's important to maintain your self-care and spiritual connection practices, meditation, spending time in nature, time with nurturing loved ones, or creating a safe haven within your home, because you'll need a solid foundation of inner balance to navigate the changes that lie ahead. And the more centered and connected you are, the easier it will be to recognize and follow the higher guidance that's being offered to you. Observation also serves as protection. When you are being monitored by higher intelligences, certain negative influences are automatically blocked from your life. People who could harm your sensitive heart are diverted from your path. Situations that could hold you back are resolved before they even reach you. Energies that could drain you are neutralized. It is as if you have an invisible shield that ensures that only beneficial and evolutionary experiences reach you. This doesn't mean that you won't face challenges. It means that the challenges you do face will be ones that strengthen you and prepare you for your next level of development. They will be challenges that you have the ability to overcome and that will leave you wiser, stronger, and more confident when you overcome them. The observation you are feeling will continue until you clearly demonstrate that you are ready to take on the next level of responsibility in your life. When this happens, observation will turn into active collaboration. Instead of just being monitored, you will begin to receive direct guidance. Instead of just feeling a presence, you will begin to notice specific communications. Instead of just noticing synchronicities, you will begin to see clear patterns that indicate exactly what steps to take. But this transition from observation to collaboration only happens when you demonstrate that you are fully aligned with higher principles of integrity, empathy, and service, especially in protecting and nurturing other souls. When you prove that your motivations are pure, that your intentions are beneficial, and that you are willing to put the greater good above your own narrow self-interests, that is the ultimate test you are undergoing right now. The good news is that you have already demonstrated most of the necessary qualities. Otherwise, you wouldn't be being watched in the first place. Now, it's just a matter of maintaining those qualities under increasing pressure, of demonstrating that they are genuine and lasting, not just temporary strategies for gaining an advantage. And based on what I can tell about you, I'm confident that you will pass this test with flying colors. Are you ready to unlock your full potential and take on the role you were always destined to play? Share in the comments if you have felt this presence, if you have noticed subtle changes in your life, if you have had more intense dreams or intuitions lately. Your experiences will help other Cancers recognize that they may also be going through this process of observation and selection to innately become the healers and protectors the world needs. Subscribe to the channel now, because what is happening to you is just the beginning of an extraordinary journey. You will need guidance on how to interpret the signs that will begin to appear, how to respond to the opportunities that will arise, how to develop the capabilities that are being activated within you. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any information that can help you navigate this process with wisdom and confidence.